with the recent wave of refugees, as they're coining them, from the Middle East, and now with President Obama's plan to accept 10,000 Syrian refugees, it has basically come under fire, and this especially has ramped up after the recent attack in the French capital of Paris. Now, what we have had taking place have been a number of hearings before the Congress that have addressed the issue of these refugees, as well as the aspects of how they're going to be examined and reviewed before being approved for parole and entry into the United States as refugees. Now, so far, there have been 31 states who are officially opposed, with Loretta Lynch having just testified before the House Judiciary Committee and testifying in direct contradiction to statements made by FBI Director James Comey. Now, during his testimony back in October, Comey emphasized that the security screening procedures aren't a catch-all if authorities don't have any information on the refugees in their databases.
We can only query against that which we have collected. And so if someone has never made a ripple in the pond in Syria in a way that would get their identity or their interests reflected in our database, we can query our database till the cows come home, but we're not going to, there'll be nothing show up.
Now, this is similar to statements that have been made when it comes to border security here in the United States, especially along the southwest border, given illegal aliens, especially during the 2014 invasion that was claimed by the Obama administration to be, again, refugees and primarily women and children. However, these children, teenagers, and older youths were primarily your gang member types. Now, what we find in statements from Ms. Lynch, the current Attorney General, she says the opposite.
Certainly with respect to the databases that the director was referring to, as he noted, I believe, before this committee, there is a screening process that has data from several different agencies. The FBI participates, Department of Defense, Department of Homeland Security, National Counterterrorism Center, and much information is vetted and queried.
Now, having watched the full length of this hearing myself, the questions that she responded to were clearly talking point responses and, in essence, refusals to answer the questions directly.
Do you disagree with the FBI director when he says that vetting Syrian refugees is extremely difficult, if not impossible?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure he said it was impossible. Certainly, not only the Department of Justice, but all of our agencies will make every effort to vet every refugee coming into this country, from the databases to the interviews that those individuals are subject to the biometric screening as well.
Let me go on.
Certainly, there are challenges to that process because of the situation in Syria. But I would note, however, that we do have the benefit of having that significant and robust screening process in place, a process that Europe has not been able to set up, which renders them much more vulnerable. Well, Congressman, as I indicated, we do have a robust screening mechanism. As I also indicated,
but how is
it's
it
a
robust?
challenging circumstance in order to ensure that we have the information that we need to make the determinations on who can come into the country and who cannot come into the country.
Let me suggest that it doesn't sound at all robust to me. Not if it's not robust enough that we already have identified them in their home country. If they don't have a legal existence in their home country, then how in the world can we possibly do a background check on people that, from a legal perspective, didn't exist before they showed up here at the borders of the United States?
So what the administration is claiming is false. They're all contradicting each other. So this is an absolute mess. It's why so many states are now standing against this, but there should be all 50.